crippin' and the blood still dripping from the west down to the east side. That's just how it is, ain't always had a pigs in the city where only real ones survive.
What's up, everybody? Me favorite like share tag, y'all. We're from the band with y'all. We back, y'all. We've been out for 2 weeks, man, and it's been good, man. A good break. We have a special interview, y'all, today. It's gonna be crazy. Y'all do me a favor, like, share, tag. Let's go to commercial real quick, y'all.
Oh, sunset, yeah, dreaming, gold chain, gleaming, church choir.
Don't you just love bandwidth? I do too. You can subscribe right now to the Gabriel Powell YouTube channel to watch us Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Welcome to the band.
Yeah. Y'all do me a favor, like, share, tag, y'all. Welcome to band with y'all in the lunchroom, man. We back. We back.
We back. We back. We back. That was good.
Wasted, flowing, pretty girls we in the land of the living and the lost. Niggas tripping, keep your head on the swivel outside. Son, if you see something that you want, go get it. If you don't, another nigga gon' slide. The crib still crippin' and the blood still dripping from the west down to the east side. That's just how it is, ain't always had a pigs in the city where only real ones survive. Only real ones survive. Only real ones survive. Only real ones survive.
Y'all had a break, man. You got a real long break.
Oh, sunset.
No.
Dreaming.
Do that, man. No. Oh, no.
Church choir. Singing. Try to save us.
No. But I do bang.
Gunshot.
And la da 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 da. I don't really mind that. Do that, Chris. Da 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 da
Oh, I can't let you outside, baby.
Hey, don't let her do it.
We in the land of the living and the lost.
Arrogant. Yeah.
If you see something that you want, go get it. If you don't, another nigga gon' slide. The crib still crippin' and the blood still dripping from the west down to the east side. That's just how it is, ain't always had a pigs in the city where only real ones survive. Yeah, only real ones survive. Only real ones survive. Only real ones survive.
Chris, I'm gonna turn your mic off, man. You didn't even start off good.
The ones who turn on someone need it, Mike, you can still feel the spirit inside. They keeping Jesus alive. They say no. They say come as you are, but don't mean it. Say we all the same, but we seated in regular church, just a concert arena. So I had to find other ways to connect to the spirit, get Jesus to people you know. No. Question is, yeah.
Did you saw pictures of Diddy?
Coming back.
Yes.
Coming back.
Yeah. What?
I swear it's the care about
Yeah, he was always Asian.
We just couldn't see it, huh?
Just for men in his discovery.
He was on the yard. They was crowding him like.
Where you heard that at?
About your
I saw the
son.
pictures.
Be the people you know.
But 50 Cent said he looks happy around all of those handsome men.
Leave Diddy alone.
No. this one's
What's up, everybody? Do me a favor, like, share, and tag, y'all. Welcome to Bad with the Lunchroom, y'all. We back, y'all, from our 2-week break, man. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
they say when they don't.
Let everybody know we're on, y'all. It's gonna be a great episode. We're doing a great interview, y'all, with a special person, man. It's gonna be crazy today. Chris, what's your segment?
He coming back. If he coming back. I swear he still care about gangsters and strippers and niggas with tats. Ain't gon' turn you away cause you walked in the service and take off your hat. He ain't like that.
What's happening?
No, he ain't like that. Don't care about your clothes, just care about your soul.
I'm gonna do a performance.
Be the people you know.
Yeah.
For your segment?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could play the instrumental to Ashanti, Foolish.
You're foolish. I'm not doing that.
I was gonna do a
No, we're good.
performance.
No, we're good. We got
In place
too much to
of-
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That don't make
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense.
Soon we get to work, she eating.
She got a whole plate.
She walked by the room with a whole Chipotle bowl. Let's do it, y'all. I'm cute though. Y'all know I ain't lying. Yes, sir. Y'all, welcome to Bad with y'all. It's about to be phenomenal. It's about to go down, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Hey. We back. We back. We back. We back. And we back. Just like that.
Hey.
And we back.
Hey.
And we back. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Hey.
Where you at?
I wasn't prepared for that.
You don't have to be ready to get home.
Hey, that'll be. I need somebody to make a track. And stop volunteering for stuff you don't have the grits to do,
do
bro.
a track.
I need somebody to do a track, and that'll be like one of our songs. Like, we back, yeah, we back, we back,
We back.
we back.
But
I can't have nothing, dog.
Sick of me.
I can't have nothing, bro. I can't. Yeah. How did you know? How did you know I'm sick of you?
You sick of me. All right, I'm done
You gotta
for the day. I'm done for the day.
I really
I'm
want you to
done.
master doing your thing.
Okay,
bro.
but I like,
You can't do music though.
Hey. I can't. All right.
I can do a jingle brand with everybody having everybody's name in it.
Not you, Jamie Foxx.
Well, you know.
Oh, he trained Jamie.
I actually
missed
trained
that.
Jamie.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So what people don't know is what's the issue?
No, we just waiting.
Y'all want to listen to the story or not?
Absolutely.
All right. So here it is. When he was, see, I was with him when he got the call to do Ray. Oh. We were riding the car together, and
I said that's serious.
Yeah.
In the car.
yeah, I hadn't told. It's a lot of stuff y'all don't know about me. Bro.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff y'all don't know.
It's an honor.
But it's an honor. You better know me now. You better know me now because I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a minute.
You telling us now.
Yeah, you better know me now because I'm telling you now. It's going to be a big thing. I'm really a big deal.
You are.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There are a lot of people that you all don't know, but they know me. And they don't want you all to know that they know me. Oh. And so I've kept that from you guys. So back to the story. I was with Jamie when he... First of all, you got blonde hair. Don't be laughing.
What's wrong with my natural hair color?
Just straight.
It's her saying
Yeah.
her natural hair color.
Brand,
Because it's my natural hair color.
Lynn look like an alpha. You got black and gold on.
Nobody's laughing. Nobody's laughing.
Actually,
Why
they
you
all
laughing?
laugh.
Why
They
you
all
laughing?
laugh.
Why not
She
laughing?
looks just like an alpha.
That's not even funny. It's not funny. That wasn't a good joke.
You're trying to hold yourself back.
I would never hold my.
What are you doing?
What are you doing right
She
now?
look like Miss Alpha.
Your natural hair color has nothing to do. Your natural hair color has nothing to do. Thank you for acknowledging my natural hair color.
She look like she just crossed and she is on fire for Alpha.
On fire for alpha.
Funny.
All right, back to my story.
Yeah.
So Y'all really want to hear it? It's only gonna take 6 seconds.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
All right, so I was riding with Jamie. He was talking to me about just stuff he was going through.
Yeah.
You know, because he was like, man, I know you. You know, you're a preacher, you're a man of God.
Yeah.
And I was just I was being game to him. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And literally, tears started coming down his eyes. Wow. And I was like, bro, you crying?
You made Jamie Foxx cry.
Yeah. Okay. It was his whole spirit. And so he was out like, bro, man up. And so, and then he got a phone call, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, well, hey, you straight? He was like, yeah. And I got a call to play Ray Charles. I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, so you're gonna have to do the infamous, I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. And so he tried it. While we were riding, he was like, I'm gonna make it do what it do. I was like, bro, no.
Not like that.
No. I said, bro, you gotta grab your arms. You gotta lean. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. And so.
That came from you.
Yes.
Oh.
And so I said, try it. And he grabbed his arm. He was like, I was like, no. Yes. And so he.
When I tell you, you just did that was perfect.
That was too good.
And so so literally we parked and we practiced that for 10 minutes. Chris, we were and by the way, we're in a convertible, so people they're walking by. Yeah. And so imagine two people doing, how do they can do it?
Who was driving?
He was driving. That ain't my car. I can't afford no convertible.
So while he was driving, he was.
Okay.
Stoplight.
All right. We were. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't
It was in between.
Yeah.
So forth.
Yeah.
And so first time he started shooting that part, he called me. He was like, hey, make sure I do it right. And so he did it first. He was like, I said, bro, higher voice. He was like, I said, yeah. And so after that, when the director saw that I was showing him, he was like, yo, Gabe.
Yeah.
I'm like, would you be a consultant? He's for all my actors. I was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you weren't already.
So when they called me, they learned from me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Was that
So-
how your acting school was birthed, or was
I had it. Come
It
on,
was
y'all don't pay
already-
attention.
okay.
Yo, I've already been.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who are some of the other actors? Can you just name maybe like two? Just
Can't. Do you name your clients?
two. I don't.
So why would you think I'm going? Anyway, yeah.
That was a very powerful
I
story.
mean,
I know you
spot
showed
on.
him because
You
the way
did.
you just did that.
That's exactly
that
how
was
he
perfect.
does it.
How many times have you watched that movie?
Honestly, once.
Oh wow, one time.
One time.
And you got that.
I don't watch movies more than one time, y'all.
Really?
Come on, y'all.
I watch
No, I
American
don't have a favorite
Gangster.
movie.
You don't have a favorite movie?
No.
You don't?
No way.
What?
American Gangster. I didn't watch that a million times. That's my favorite movie.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We cool. Don't
Yeah,
start
she
doing
was
stuff.
about to start acting.
Yo. We're back.
Yes, welcome.
Today we have a great episode. I'm interviewing one of my favorite people in the world.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be dope, man.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys segment for us?
I do, but I
Nope.
don't-
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome to It's Questionable You All, where we tackle topics that make you think twice. So let's get this. In China, new rules now prevent wives from claiming their husband's property after a divorce. Yep, you heard that right.
Celebrate Jesus. We're in revival all over the world. We are in a global revival.
Actually, 5. Wow.
A global revival.
Yes, so there has been a shift in how marital assets are handled, and the internet has been divided. Some people say this can leave women financially vulnerable, especially those who spent years raising families instead of building careers. Others argue that it's actually a good thing, that it promotes clearer financial independence within marriages and pushes both partners to maintain their own. But here is when it gets interesting. One person said, the best thing a woman can do for herself is not get married. Single women are happier, make more money, are healthier, and less likely to deal with mental health issues or alcoholism. Meanwhile, married men tend to make more money, live longer, and thrive. So with this new law and all the differing opinions, is marriage still worth it, or is this questionable?
Those are bad statistics. That ain't even. Somebody just lied.
Yeah, how they know? No.
They just lied. They
Did
just
they
lied.
interview all the women?
That is
ask
a
me.
bold-faced lie.
Right. Did you say this was in China?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't listen to no Asian people about no marriage.
Their dynamic is different. Their dynamic is different. Yeah, they get married now. They don't play.
Yeah, you
But
come.
some people said the birth rate might be a little lower because of it. So do you think people will still stop having children?
People ain't gonna stop having children because they ain't gonna stop having sex.
Okay.
Wham.
Okay.
Win-win.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, that ain't the black. Ain't no black woman said that. Now. Ain't no black woman said that.
Do you
Now,
think that'll come to America?
Who?
Like,
You can't.
you can't split assets after marriage?
oh, do I think that particular policy would be? Oh man, I don't know, but
You know, China, they light years ahead.
yeah,
So,
I don't know, but I think it does need to happen. I don't even want to get off, because we got guests. Y'all know I'm restraining myself, but I think that would help out a lot of. I think. Lord help me say this properly. I think there's a certain group of people, a certain type of woman, because you're right, y'all, that would hurt people. But when you've seen so many, like Will was talking to us last night, and man, just listening to him, he was like, man, I've seen so many men, so many women falsely accused men. He said, this is what he said, paraphrasing what he said, he said, you don't know how many people I see, black women who will send their men to jail. He said, I don't know if they understand what it means to send a man to jail. His life will forever change. Sending him to jail and he didn't do what you said he did. He said, I see that all the time. Black women. So I said that to say, when you have a group of people who will do whatever to make sure another person suffers, I think we need some of those rules in place. Did that make sense?
Yes.
That's so true. Yeah.
As a police officer, he's like, I see women, and then he said, then they'll come back the next day and say, how can I get them out? How can I do this? And that's true. We learned those. I saw those things. We saw those things as law enforcement officers. But what's sad about that is our own women sending our men to jail. All because you are mad. Destroying a person's life. So if we get a divorce, I believe there's a system that supports destroying the man, all because the relationship didn't end the way you wanted it to. I think we need better parameters in place. I believe the system supports and favors the woman.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that needs to happen. And unfortunately, it needs to happen even though there are people who wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But we've seen the abuse of the system so much. I think we need these parameters in place. So I actually think that's good. Yeah. Why y'all do that to us, man? All right, y'all. Let's go to commercial, man.
Don't you just love bandwidth? I do too. You can subscribe right now to the Gabriel Powell YouTube channel to watch us Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Welcome to the band. Hood and Holy is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. If you love style, fashion, and Jesus, this is the brand for you. Shop Hood and Holy right now to grab our classic looks with amazing quality and even better conversations. It's the perfect conversation starter. Don't wait, shop Hood and Holy today.
Our merch lets you rep the band no matter where you go. Whether you're grabbing coffee, at work, or just out living life, it's all about carrying the heart of the band with you in style. You can check it all out at www.bwp.shop. And listen, if merch isn't your thing, no hard feelings. You can still drop us a little lunch money in the comments to help the show keep going strong. Either way, you're a part of the band and we appreciate you. Now, let's get back to the show.
Don't you just love bandwidth? I do too. You can subscribe right now to the Gabriel Powell YouTube channel to watch us Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Welcome to the band.
Our merch lets you rep the band no matter where you go. Whether you're grabbing coffee, at work, or just out living life, it's all about carrying the heart of the band with you in style. You can check it all out at www.bwp.shop. And listen, if merch isn't your thing, no hard feelings. You can still drop us a little lunch money in the comments to help the show keep going strong. Either way, you're a part of the band and we appreciate you. Now, let's get back to the show.
Don't you just love bandwidth? I do too. You can subscribe right now to the Gabriel Powell YouTube channel to watch us Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Welcome to the band.
Our merch lets you rep the band no matter where you go. Whether you're grabbing coffee, at work, or just out living life, it's all about carrying the heart of the band with you in style. You can check it all out at www.bwp.shop. And listen, if merch isn't your thing, no hard feelings. You can still drop us a little lunch money in the comments to help the show keep going strong. Either way, you're a part of the band and we appreciate you. Now, let's get back to the show.
Yo, we are back, and I am excited, you all. I don't have to introduce you all to this phenomenal individual. This person is dear to my heart, y'all. You all know him. He's known all around the world. Y'all, show your love for my pastor, the Bishop Brian Keith Hodges, y'all. Bishop.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming, sir.
Man, I'm so grateful and so honored, man.
Bishop, no, we're
First,
honored.
you know,
sir.
I love you,
Yes,
and
sir.
I love EA, man.
Thank you, sir.
Just 100 all the time.
I think, how many times have you been on the show, Bishop, on this show, Bandwidth? How many times?
A couple
Couple times? Yeah. Bishop,
I
so.
figured I got booted off the last.
No.
Last time I was like, yeah, maybe they fired me.
No, sir. Bishop, first of all, congratulations on your relaunch of your. Now, here's what I didn't know. I didn't know that the organization is 20 years old.
Next year it'll be 20 years.
So how old were you when you started this organization, this fellowship?
So I was 34, 30, no, I was about 35, 36 when I started it. And so interesting is I ran from this forever and ever.
Really?
I didn't want to take this leap and not have a sense of grounding and passion for it, and I didn't want to just be another label without a lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
So I ran from it, and others had offered to consecrate me a few years earlier. I just chose not to do it. It's only when a dear friend of mine who now sleeps in blessed memory came to me. He wasn't a pastor or bishop. He said, hey man, let's have a conversation. You're going in another direction, and it's time that you embrace it.
Wow.
And that's when I started having the conversation. I started meeting with friends and colleagues and people I'd done ministry with, and they were all saying, well, we were just waiting on you to catch it.
Wow.
Yeah, we already thought it. And so when I got consecrated in 06, I was also enthroned as the presiding bishop of, at the time we called it Gathering of Champions International Fellowship of Churches, and now Rehoboth Fellowship International. And the only reason we made the pivot is because I wanted us to be clear that we were moving in a profoundly different direction.
Yes, sir.
And I am seeing the results. I'm seeing people who are picking up the phone, calling, sending me direct messages, emailing, texting, saying, hey, we want to be a part of that.
Wow.
Whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, well, let me explain to you first. It doesn't matter how much you explain. We want to be a part of that because you're doing it. And we're seeing the people that you're attracting that are working with you and serving with you. We want it because of that. And it's been powerful.
Bishop, fellowships and organizations for churches and pastors, etc. That's very popular. If you could explain the difference between yours and all the other, because we've gone to conferences and all of these things, what would be the difference? What sets Rehoboth apart from all the other ones?
Rehoboth has a heart and a heartbeat. We have a heart for pastors. We have a heart for their churches, and especially small to medium churches. These are the small bricks that build those other organizations, and they are always neglected. We want to change it. And it's not the model of, here we are, big organization over here, y'all come. It's, here we are, family. Let's see what we have. Let's leverage it together. Let's build something together. Let's create solutions together. Let's address and attack problems together. Let's inspire and encourage and motivate those people that are a part. In Rehoboth, you don't have to play up to anyone. You don't have to play. We're not looking at you and what you have to determine the viability and the validity of Rehoboth. We're viable and valid whether you are a part or not. Here's the story, though. We're bringing everything we got to help you get better.
Wow.
I don't believe that everybody will have a big church, but I believe you can have big people in your little church.
Yes, sir.
And if you have that, that's real discipleship.
Yes, sir.
That's real church growth. Because there are churches with 1,000 members and all of them are spiritual midgets.
Gee.
And there's nothing happening in their lives. They don't have a Christian worldview. They're not discipleship focused. There's no spiritual formation taking place. At Rehoboth, we're saying we're going to be shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, heart to heart, working to ensure that we're learning together, that we're growing together, that we're doing ministry together, that we're doing life together, because church matters.
Yes, sir.
You'll never catch me bad-mouthing or bashing another pastor or another bishop for their style or what they're doing in ministry. You'll never catch me doing that. Our problem in church ministry is that many of us only make our assessments over sound bites. And so we think and talk and act before we really internalize what we see. You don't have enough information sometimes. And what I want to do in Rehoboth is I want to help people grow into that maturation for the sake of saturation.
Bishop, you invited me. You told me. You said, "I think you're ready to become bishop." And the first time, I declined the invitation. One of the things I've struggled with is where I'll be 40 in a few months. Is that elevation? Typically, traditionally, you see people being elevated in that regard, and after 50 years old. What would you say to people who have a more traditional mindset about where the church is? You know, you should be waiting 20 years before you do certain things. Why would you grab a younger guy and say, I think you're ready for this?
Because real ministry in church is all of us, not just the sages, but the strong also. And people who are in the trenches doing the work every single week, who have a passion for it, who have a love for it, who are studying and researching. I'm not talking about degrees now. I'm just talking about people who roll up their sleeves and in their local church are saying, here's what we're getting ready to do. They cast vision, they create a strategy, they implement it, they see desired results. We need those people. We've got a whole lot of people who have the age in terms of what we think is seasoned, but they've done nothing in ministry. So nobody's restricted. Nobody's disconnected. Nobody's disallowed or disavowed from being in the Episcopal ministry. I think when you understand that you have somebody who has a passionate commitment to God, a faithful commitment to their local assembly, that love the Lord and want to be used by God, I think you're in the pipeline of having someone that's ready to lead divisionally, departmentally, based on a dais that we create. There's always somebody who's there. Here's what we're looking at. The CEO of Red Lobster, who turned Red Lobster around.
Yes, sir.
35 years old.
Yes, sir.
The guy who rescued Lego, 35 years old. And the list can go on and on. One
That's
of the
crazy.
youngest presidents we ever had JFK,
Yes, sir.
Barack Obama.
Yes, sir.
If we literally would have disqualified them because of their age, that's not a correct meter or filter for disqualifying someone. When they have the passion, keep in mind now, Barack Obama is a half-term senator from the state of Illinois, half-term. He didn't even serve his full 6 years. He's a half-term senator. Gave a speech at the Democratic National Convention, was elected to the Senate, and then became the president. We got to stop coming up with these unrealistic rules and regulations that don't have rhyme or reason or tenor or meaning, and start saying, let's take a look. And here's the other thing. I always watch. I'm always looking. I'm always looking at people saying, what can we do to help them reach their next? And what does next mean for them? And it's not always Episcopal ministry.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's just leadership.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a push toward partnership. Sometimes it's a push toward network. I'm always looking for that. And you can't be around Encounter Atlanta and not see that the man of God and his team are people that are ready for what's next.
Wow. Bishop, you recently made a huge transition.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away. And I'm not going to lie to you, Bishop, I didn't think you were going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did you do it, you did it earlier than what you said you were going to do.
True.
What was this recent transition and why?
So I had been I graduated from Beulah Heights University. I got 2 degrees from them. My last degree I finished in 1999. I went to ITC. I finished ITC in 02. 04, I started being an adjunct professor at Beulah Heights University. The president at the time had transitioned and the new president was there. The new president had been our librarian, one of my professors, director of finance, director of financial aid. So he was someone that I was very acquainted with, someone that I respected and loved. And I had one goal in mind, that for the first time for the second time, we had a person of color. Dr. Chan, of course, was an Indian, but we have a person of color.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to help. I want to help this minority, and I want to come. And he graciously extended me an opportunity to come and to be a part of Beulah. So for my first 15 years, I was an adjunct, and like a full-time non-resident adjunct, because I taught every semester, and I taught 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 or 8 classes during a semester. And then in 2016, he invited me on to be full-time. So for the last 9 years or so, I was full-time general studies, chair for the Department of Religious Studies. My last position was the Dean of Continuing Ed, Professional Development and Lifelong Learning. I love Beulah. I'm a product of Beulah. Mm-hmm. And so I love Beulah Heights University. I had to make a decision about what my life would look like and my contributions to an institution, especially when that institution was going away from what I believed it was founded on, which is religious studies. I don't disagree with additions, but I have a problem with replacements. We can add something, but we can't replace it. Beulah Heights University was founded on religious studies, birthed out of Azusa Street.
Really?
The founders went to Azusa Street, came back to Atlanta, and started it. It gets better. The founders and the other 2 families that started with them committed to not have children so they could give all their money to Beulah Heights.
Really?
Really. They never had children. The founders never had children, and the 2 families that joined them never had children, so that they could give their additional income to Beulah Heights. At the time, it was Beulah Heights Bible Institute, Beulah Heights Bible College now, Beulah Heights University. And so when you hear that kind of story and legacy, you certainly want to participate because it's provided for you. When I went to Beulah, I was a 25-year-old second church pastor. And I was like, man, I want credibility.
Yeah.
I want authenticity.
Yeah.
I want to stand in that pulpit and know that what I am saying and sharing is happening. I didn't know Beulah Heights University was in my backyard, 25 minutes from my home. I had no idea. So a friend of mine, Pastor Norwood Hills Jr., he's one of our bishop designates.
Yes, sir.
He was going there. He said, you need to go. He took me to hear Jerry Hutchins preach in Jackson, Georgia one night. Jerry Hutchins was teaching preaching and ministry. After I heard him preach, I said, I'm signing up. And the summer semester of 1997 is when I started. I was hooked, and my foundation was solid, rock solid. Back then, of course, we didn't have online, so you had to go to every class.
Yeah.
You had to read every book.
Yes, sir.
You had to do every test. It was all presence, and your attendance was based on you being there.
Yes, sir.
So if you didn't go, you were marked absent.
Yeah.
You know, of course, now with the advent of the internet, and now we have learning management systems, you can get a whole degree without ever going to a campus.
Absolutely.
For me, that was not the story. I had to do the work. And so as I begin to think about my own values and my own moorings as a public theologian, a scholar pragmatist, I ask myself, is what I'm seeing something I want to continue to attach myself to? Now, let me be very clear and very transparent. I cannot be mad with the leadership for making the decisions that they made. Leaders have to make decisions. I can't be mad with them for making decisions that did not include me. Cannot be mad with them. You know, people talk about church hurt or work hurt. I have neither.
Wow.
No, you can't be mad. You can't be a leader for 33 years and then get mad when decisions that you've had to make, you just can't.
Yes.
So I'm not, I left Beulah not upset with them. But I did make this distinction and this decision, and that was, that's not where I want my legacy tied. Some of the programming that I saw, some of the things that they were doing, while they are progressive, they're costing us resources that we could be putting into religious and theological education. And when religious and theological education is neglected and completely defunded, that's not something I want to do. I have one goal in mind, to take the academy and the institution of the church and bring them back together. And that's my one goal. Because if you think about it, seminary moved way far away from the church, its base, when it was birthed to be the canal for the church, the pipeline for the church. We want to send our people here so they can get educated, so they can come back and we can make a difference in the world. And so I'm watching Beulah Heights University leadership make decisions that took all of the emphasis off of religious studies and theological education. And it's just not something, I didn't want to have to sell that to anybody anymore.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to have to say to you, come on, Bishop Designate Powell, come to Beulah to get your D men, when I know the focus was no longer there. And I have to look you in the eye when you graduate and you say, Bishop, what did I get? What can I do with this? Or I'm not prepared for the challenges or the rigors of ministry. I came because your name was attached. But now look at where I'm at. Let me just say again so I can be very clear.
Yes, sir.
You can't be upset with your leader for making that decision. But when your leader makes a decision that takes it away from its foundation, you have to make a decision about your connection. And I made a decision about my connection.
Bishop, you served at Beulah as a professor for how long?
All total 21 years. January would have been 22.
21 years. We know you from two places, Gathering of Champions and Beulah Heights. So this is mind blowing.
Yes.
What is next for Bishop Brian Keith?
Oh, it's a really good question. Here's what's so amazing for me. I am really rather scripted. I love regularity. So I generally don't move my feet unless I have a plan. But as I prayed about this, the Lord was saying, no, it's time to go. So I'm like, well, what's the plan? He said, it's time to go. Well, I kind of want to know. He said, Abraham got what he got. He had to leave first. And then it dawned on me. So when we did our relaunch, my last day was 3 days before our relaunch.
God.
I never wanted it to take center stage of our relaunch, so I didn't even mention it. I wanted the relaunch to be the relaunch. And the relaunch was insanely amazing. We had it right here at Encounter Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
The staff, the team, I can't say enough about you in this church and this team. I cannot. It's a model. So I held it because I wanted the focus to be on the relaunch, and God blew my mind. My expectations were so. I was telling Bishop Jamie Johnson, I said, I have no idea what I expected. He's like, really? I said, because it was so blown away. Anything I could have expected, it went so high above it that I'm like, maybe I didn't expect it. I don't know, but I was blown away. I said to the Lord, I need to hear a word from you. Bishop Caldwell preached that message. I was like, yep, that's what I needed. To see all of them, and then to see friends from around that just showed up. I'm like, man, that's it. So when you ask me what's next for me, it's probably 4 or 5 things. One, I want to spend more time growing Gathering of Champions.
Yes, sir.
Gathering of Champions is my heartbeat. It means the world to me. And so I really do want to spend time now coaching our people through the healthy lens of discipleship, through the healthy lens of evangelism, outreach, making sure we have good in-reach. Coach them through that, and to be present with them as we do that. There are 800,000 people in 6 contiguous cities in Cobb County. I want our church to grow. There's enough for everybody.
That's right.
You could build your church right next door to mine, I promise, and we'd still be good.
Yes, sir.
Right? A few years ago, we had a multicultural church move down the street from our church, and our people were worried. I was like, don't be. There are 800,000 people in Cobb. Believe me. Well, what if our people leave? I said, then they weren't our people, and we'll just do good with those who come. It's that, for me, it's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. There's no competition in the kingdom.
Jesus.
None whatsoever, right? If 100 people come here, fine. The guy down the street don't need to be mad. He does not need to lampoon, lambast, berate, disrespect, or disregard you. If the people came, it's okay, because in this area, there's enough unsaved, unchurched people to fill the church back up. So why don't we work on that? So that's one thing, just really in Cobb, I just want to make sure our church this coming Sunday will be 157 years old.
Wow.
I want to see our church double in size in 1 year, and that's what I'll be working on. Second thing is Rehoboth. Rehoboth has exploded.
Yeah.
Every week since our relaunch, at least 5 or 6 people saying, I want to do what y'all doing. Yep, I want to be a part. And then these leaders who are with us are getting their colleagues and friends who are coming along. So I want to spend time growing Rehoboth.
Yes, sir.
Making the foundation strong, creating the fundamental pieces. The third thing I want to do is I want to write. I've been threatening to write.
Yeah.
I wrote 1 book, but now it's time for me to do the other pieces. And I've had such a great cadre of experiences. I want to take those experiences and put them into writing, print, that will help leaders when they're going through. I'll just kind of give you the snippet. My first book is called, my first writing,
Yes, sir.
is a 52-week devotional called A Healthy Leader in an Unhealthy Environment. And I am just going to wear it out.
Yes, sir.
By talking about what I learned through my career, through ministry, through reading the book of Daniel. What did we learn about people? What did we learn about systems? What did we learn about prejudice? What did we learn about division and discord? What did we learn? What did we learn when you were in an environment that should have been Christian and professional and it wasn't?
Yeah.
What did we learn? Right? And to put that in the book, put it in leaders' hands and help leaders. Because, my real passion outside of the gospel ministry and preaching is leadership.
Yes, sir.
It's just helping leaders, because here's what I know. They're the most neglected people around. Right? And then, Inspire Global. It's what I do. It's leadership, coaching, it's consulting, it's preaching, it's ministry. It'll soon be a foundation, just really putting that back into play. Inspire Global is my heartbeat.
Yes, sir.
Because it helps me do what I do. Like, if I had no other purpose in life, it'd be this. I want to see people succeed.
Yes, sir.
I'm not the kind of guy, if you do well, I'll be jealous.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. You'd be like, bro, why are you so happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just who I've always been.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up that way, but I've just always been glad for other people.
Wow.
Always been glad. You're doing well, I'm always talking about you. I'm always talking about Encounter Atlanta. I'm always sharing something or hearting something or making a comment about what I'm just so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of the ministry. So, and then real estate, I've been an investor. So just kind of going back and doing that. I've always been a guy that could, I could take that shirt, buy it for $1 and sell it for 15.
Yeah.
So all of these things. And, there are other people who've asked me, what do you think about more teaching? Well, 10 years ago, I was kind of done with the classroom. I had to teach. I stopped wanting to teach. But I had to. It's a part of my job.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years, it's just got more work. You got to teach more, still do more administrative stuff. And all of that went up, but your pay.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Bishop, so I'm currently in my second master's formational leadership.
I love it.
I'll be finished I graduated in May.
Yes.
And, formational leadership, I actually found out the program is, they're changing the program.
Wow.
I'm the last cohort for this particular program.
Wow.
Yeah. But I've learned a lot. Formational leadership is not, this degree is not so that you can become successful externally. It's about being successful internally. In your experience, what is the biggest trauma experience that a pastor is dealing with? What's their internal, what's the dark side? What's going on in that pastor or a leader that he or she cannot talk about, but it plagues them and it may cause them to fall in their ministry or in their position?
It's 3 Ds, bro.
Yes, sir.
Disappointment, desertion, and disrespect. Those 3. To have a life where you study all week, you prepare all week, you research, you gain information, you form and shape good messages that are aimed at the heart of the disciple. And yet the people in the pew don't look like the preaching in the pulpit. That's disappointing. For you to lift up that text and preach it thoughtfully and faithfully and not see it happen. Let's not even talk about, the big 3. Let's not talk about money and coming to church. Let's just talk about stuff like division. You've preached it, you've illustrated it, you've shown it, and yet you look out and you still see people who are participating or causing division. That's disappointing. When you have put together a plan, a vision that the Lord has given you, you articulated it well, and you put it right in the hands of people that could make it happen and they don't. When you see them pull up in a parking lot with an SUV that seats 8 people and there's only 1 person in it, that's disappointing. And pastors have to internalize that, because if I talk about it too much, I'm fussing.
Right.
So you have to hold it back and still encourage and exhort so that you can see mobility and movement. Let's just talk about EA for a minute. Let's just talk about Encounter Atlanta, right? How many times have you said, share this video, put it on your social media, leverage what you do, show a big, and you look out and there are people, you're saying, I know you get it, but you don't get it. I know you get it, but you don't do it. That for a pastor is disappointing. This is someone you love, you respect, you do ministry with, you've been in the trenches with them, and that moment that you expected them to stand tall, they capitulated and folded. That's that. But desertion, I think that's the second one. Desertion is so tough because it reminds us of a crucified Christ who walked 3.5 years with guys that deserted him, that couldn't pray with him, in agony, in Gethsemane. They couldn't pray with him. They couldn't watch with him. Even though everything that was happening to him, he had already told them. He had given them enough information, and they deserted him. What do you do when desertion happens and you have done everything you could to help those who would be tempted to desert, to be fortified enough to never desert? Because at the end of the day, you don't desert. You stood in court with them.
That's right.
After you standing there going, I know you didn't do that. Like, moral, ethical, legal. You're like, but you stood in court with them anyway.
Yeah.
Desertion. Right? And you never gave up on them. You simply said, I'm going to be present with them. Because if I desert them, the devil don't have to fight them. The devil gets them without a fight. So I'm standing right there. Desertion, when those people that you have poured into, your closest leaders, decide one day they don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
And not hold on to the fortitude. Not hold on to, I'm passionately committed, right? There were days I ain't feel like being a dad I ain't never desert.
Wow.
There were days I ain't feel like being bothered with my children and the issues. Every one of them will tell you, my dad was right there. Yeah, they get in trouble at school. Their mom didn't go. I went because I made a commitment to them. They didn't ask to be here. I made a commitment to them, and that's what happens. Even when they got into some things they shouldn't have got into. Right there. It's just who you are. That whole desertion piece is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just speak to your absence. It speaks to your consciousness.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so easy for you to leave me?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I saw my dad every day. My dad died 38 years ago. He drowned. Up until he drowned, I saw him every morning and every night, every day. Like my dad didn't have no friends. I'm just hang out with them and stay with them. I'm like, Dad, you ever just want to stay out sometime, Dad? No, because I got 8 children. I'm coming home to y'all. So I think it was that. I owe you one more, don't I?
Actually, you just threw me off a little bit. Bishop, so your father drowned.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you?
16.
My thesis is essentially I'm talking about the absence of fathers cause black male spiritual leaders? Does it contribute to scandal? The absence of a father. How did you heal from that experience? You're 16 years old, you lost your father. How did you heal from that? Are you healed from that? Did you see that? Did grief spill over into your ministry at some point?
This is a really good question, actually. Really good question. Let me start by saying the answer is no. It does not. Remember what James says in the book of James, every man is drawn away and enticed by his own lust.
Yes, sir.
Lust, when it is first conceived, brings forth sin. Sin, when it is finished, brings forth death. I'll give you a quick example. I had a friend. All of his uncles and aunts on both sides were functional alcoholics. That's all he's seen. Barbecues, birthday parties, everybody huddling up brown paper bags. Ask me how many times he's drank in his life.
I mean,
0. You know why? Because he saw a lesson that was lived in front of him. And he said, I don't want that. Every person, Bishop, every person's got to make a decision on their own. We have allowed influences to condition us where we make bad choices. And we make those bad choices because we refuse to reconcile what we know and what we want. If I'm around somebody who is excessively angry, the first thing I'm gonna do is learn not to be angry. Because I'm going to see it very clearly. And I'm going to be contemplative enough to make a distinction between behavior and becoming, right? I grew up in the inner city of Detroit. I'm there doing a revival. I get out to go into a store. There's this particular brand of potato chips me and my daughter Brianna love. So I said, you know what, let me run in there. I never go to this store, even when I lived in Detroit, never, but I'd almost forgot. So I go in there and I get the potato chips, and there's a clerk yelling at a guy, get out, don't come in here. I told you don't ever come in here. And the guy is begging him. And so finally I said, hey bro, what'd he do? He owes me money. I said, well, how much does he owe me? Probably $20. I said, I'll pay it. The guy turns around, looks me in the eye. He's a friend of mine that I've had since elementary school. I didn't even realize it. He is an alcoholic. He is a drug abuser. And he is homeless. I didn't even know. I'm just offering to pay it because I'm like, bro, it's a small deed. Don't disrespect the guy. And it was a younger Middle Eastern guy. I don't know if he was Arabic or whatever. He was a younger guy, and I'm like, don't disrespect this guy. Whatever, I'll pay it. So I paid it. The guy turned around. He said, thank you for doing that. He's like, could I get me some stuff? I said, go get whatever you want. And of course he got, what he wanted, and I paid for that too. And I said, Anthony. He said, how do you know me? I said, we went to Brady and we went to Durfee together. He looks at me, Brian Hodges. He's like, what did you do? You look like a rich man. I said, well, I'm a preacher. I was here doing revival. He said something blew me away. He said, even in elementary school, I knew you'd be a preacher. I'm like, well, that was one of us.
Yeah.
Right? I made a decision based on my environment. He made a decision based on his. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget that encounter because it taught me a couple of things. One thing it taught me was make sure that you never let what's around you get in you. If you're not careful, what's around you can get in you. Gabe, if I do nothing else, I'm going to be careful what I let happen around me. We were having this conversation one day, me and some clerics, and we were talking about how they hate Donald Trump. And I said, well, I pray for him. You pray for Donald Trump? I said, yeah. Why? I said, because that's what the Bible tells us to do.
Yeah.
I said, just because you don't like him don't mean you can shirk your responsibility to pray for him. And that's P-R-A-Y, not P-R-E-Y.
That's right, yes, sir.
Yeah. And you have to know the difference. I said, I'm going to ask the Lord, what is your will for his life? Whatever it is, Lord, I pray he lives it. Lord, whatever we need to do. Now, am I a Donald Trump fan? No, absolutely not. But I can still pray for him because if I don't pray for him, the devil gets him without a fight. So at some point, we have to look around at our environment and say, nah, I'm not going to be mad with you because you're mad. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I know is right. Now let me turn this over. Is there instances where a male's presence could have created the buffer necessary to help a black man? It depends if he had himself together.
Wow.
Because it's not good when you have a male presence in your life and that male presence is shady. You already got your own issues. You know what I mean? You hate the police, so you raise children to hate police.
Yeah.
I don't hate the police.
Yeah.
I've had my issues with them, but I don't hate them.
Yeah.
After September 11th, I started doing everything I can to support them.
Wow.
Like, what can I do to help y'all? Because only a courageous man can walk into a building that is going to collapse and give his life to save others. That's courageous, man, right? I think another thing, though, is when you have a guy in the home and that guy in the home is disgruntled, it's a bad influence. This is going to be tough, but I'm on bandwidth, so I can say it.
You can.
Some jokers don't need to be in the house.
That's right.
Because you a bad example.
That's right.
And there are some women that can teach their boys how to be better men than the man that's in the house. He's dishonorable. He's disrespectful. He doesn't hold up his end of the bargain. He's got the young man's mom in a disconnected place. Oh no, bro, you don't need to be in the home. Right, we need to find a bridge and throw you over. Right,
Yeah.
because if you're going to be a bad example, we don't need you in the home.
That's right.
We need men who are holy men, who are righteous men, who are moral men.
Yeah.
We need them. Bro, listen, your dad raised you. Your dad got a girlfriend around the corner. You got brothers and sisters your same age from another family. That ain't the kind of guy you need at the house.
That's right.
We need your resources. We don't need your presence.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Why don't we just
That's
tell
right.
the truth?
That's
We
right.
need you to pay your child support, but we need somebody that's going to be there, that's going to show us the right way to live.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad did. My dad was tough, bro. There's no other way to describe him. He was tough. Gabe, my dad never made a B. Ever.
Really?
He's a straight A student. Never made a B. He said to me one time when I got a C plus, he's like, are you happy with a C plus? I'm like, I'm just glad I passed. He said, boy, what's wrong with you? I'm like, Pop, I'm not like you. I'm out of the third grade. I don't care.
Yeah.
But that was him. My dad would read something. He was the first person I knew that had read the Bible from cover to cover and wasn't a Christian. Because he said, if my wife is going to take my kids to church, I at least need to read the Bible. He read the whole Bible. And he knew it. That one day, the Bible got in him and he got saved. Wow. Yeah. So I do think your project has such great merit, because there are a number of guys who remained in the home as a father, but our bad habits came from our dad.
Yeah.
Then there are other guys who were not in the home, and those young men grew up to be well because there were strong leaders.
Yeah.
Even though they're female.
Yeah.
There were strong leaders in the home. And that's the important piece, because I'm still woefully egalitarian. I believe that a man and a woman can carry the same responsibility and do the same job as long as you have the right information and the right heart. Remember, it was your mama who told you who the daddy was. No, let's not forget.
Yeah.
So I really do think that. I think you got to have the right person. Remember, Jim Collins in Good to Great, he said you got to get the wrong people off the bus, the right people on the bus, and the right people in the right seats before you can move the bus. Right? We don't want to have a guy. Let's say you got a guy at home. He smoke weed every day and drink every night. That's not a model.
Yeah.
We want our young men to see he in and out of jail. But I'm home. I was there for. No, that's not the model we want to see.
Absolutely.
Because we could be influencing our young men to live a life that is going to be counterproductive.
Bishop, do you see when you look at where we are as a church now, as a body of Christ, what would be the top three things that we need to that even with Rehoboth you plan to, you really want to impact? But when you look at the church now, though you love the church and you're passionate about the church, if you could say, hey, I think we need to improve in these three areas, what would they be?
Oneness. That we model Philippians 2:2. Paul says 4 things. He says, have the same mind, have the same love, have one accord, have one mind. That we go back to the kind of powerful oneness that shows up in this community. I think the second thing is that we would go back to living Scripture passionately. That we preach it and we live it. This is where it's going to get dicey. Preaching the Bible will not get you a whole lot of amens. It won't get people to shout. You may never trend. You may never go viral. But preaching the Bible is what grows us. Preaching Scripture grows us. Now, you can have a unique hermeneutic and spin it in a way, fine by me, but make sure you preach the Bible, right? I think here's the third thing, that we gotta make sure that the church becomes our central focus for where we give.
Yeah.
If the church would just give God's tithe and an offering, every church in the country would be able to do the kind of outreach and social ministry that we would never need the government. There are nearly 260 million Christians in America. Less than 10% of them tithe. The real number is about 7%.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because money is our God. We're stingy. We focus our energies on consumption that gratifies us and not support. So a guy in the barbershop asked one time, when I got my haircut, the guy, it's probably been about 15 years ago, and I may have told you the story. So one guy came in, he's like, at the time I was pastor, he's like, a bishop. He said, Bishop, I'll get you in just a minute. I said, okay. One guy was like, yeah, I want to ask the bishop something. Go for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, y'all preachers be taking all the money. And I said, y'all don't give enough for us to take. And once we pay the bills, ain't nothing left to take.
That's right.
The whole barbershop erupted in laughter.
Yeah.
And he was trying to talk over them. They just kept laughing.
Yeah.
And the barbers was coming over, shaking my hand, saying, thank you.
Yeah.
Our reality is that most of our churches, we don't have surplus. We don't have this huge surplus of resources that most of what we're doing, we're hustling to do.
Yeah.
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 EA, y'all could do so much more.
Yeah.
If just 80%
That's right.
of this congregation gave God's tithe offering and gave a sacrificial offering, 80% of them do that, bro, what? Y'all would have built the church,
That's
paid
right.
it off, and
That's
built the
right.
next building.
That's right.
And on the way to paying it off.
Yes, sir.
But our problem is we have this issue with money. And we think that the best way to do it is to think of ourselves. And I'll be honest with you. When people say, the church always wants, every institution I know wants. You want.
Yeah.
You want. I don't know anybody that went in their job at entry level and said, don't pay me no extra because I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
They're
sir.
like, they owe me. Let me talk to EEOC. They owe,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They owe me. We have to be a church that's so focused on being one, living the word, and giving generously. Like, in Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, it's one of my favorite verses. He says, starting around verse 6, he who sows sparingly shall reap sparingly. He who sows bountifully will reap bountifully. Every man has his purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver, and God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you have in all sufficiency in all things may abound unto every good work. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food, increase the fruit of your righteousness. You'll be enriched in every way to be generous in every way, which in turn will give glory to God.
Oh, man. This makes no sense. Bruh. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. All right. Keep going.
Yeah. At the end of the day, bro, our church should be the best givers ever. This generation, we have so many resources, and yet we are the stingiest.
Yeah.
We are the stingiest people around. And we make these excuses. So if someone argued with me about tithing, as a matter of fact, I preached it here, and the guy was on your stream, came and got my contact information, and wanted to go to war with me.
No.
Yeah, I gave him my phone number.
No.
Yes, I gave him my phone number. I said, call me. Bro, you don't get this far in ministry by running from people. I ran right to him. I said, let's have the conversation. And he wanted to go through all of the scriptures that tithing was wrong and we shouldn't do it. I said, well, I'll go with you if you go with me here. He said, where's that? I said, let's go to the end of Acts chapter 2.
Yeah.
So what happened in Acts chapter 2? These people were so compelled that they sold all they had and gave it to the church. I said, you ready to do that? No, I ain't ready to do that. I said, well, why not? I said, are you not compelled? I said, it's clear to me that you can pay because you watched the whole show. They had to boot you out because you were tripping. And I said, you're calling me? I said, so let's sell all you have and give to the church. He won't do that. Of course, he took me to 2 Corinthians 9, which I just quoted. Yeah. And I said, well, what's cheerful giving? What I make up in my mind. I said, okay, I'll go with you. What's that? I give $100. I said, you give $100 when you go? He said, yeah. I said, I'm going to send you my giving statement by email.
That's right. That's right.
I said, let me scan and email you mine.
That's right.
He's like, so you did this because of tithing? I said, no. I said, tithing is a starting point, not an ending point. I said, I give way more than a tithe. I said, I would never let a Jew under the law give more to God than a Christian saved by grace. I said, so no, I give way more than 10. Way more. And I said, you got to see it. You can't tell me what to give. I said, I didn't. I just told you what I give. And I said, and the problem is, your God is your money, not the one you're trying to convict me about tithing.
That's right.
Your God is your money. Oh, man. Right? We need all tithe day in Encounter Atlanta. All tithe day. That 100% of the people who come to Encounter Atlanta, physically and virtually, will give God, the katos in the Hebrew, a 10th part. Give him 10 today. And prove me now herewith, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open up the window of heaven and pour you out blessings, there shall not be room enough to reach. Let me tell you why I tithe and give way more than. Here's why. Because I am living a life I had no idea I could live. I wish I could tell you I planned this. I ain't even smart enough to plan this. God did this because I was faithful with the little G-O-D of this world. You know what that is? Money.
Money.
The little G-O-D of this world is money. And we are so attached to it that we would refuse to fund God's vision. One day we will stand before him and he said, I let you get through college. I let you get a good job. I let you get promoted and you gave me $500 a year. A story about a guy. This guy gets out of jail, stumbles into a church. The pastor is there. He says, I've been in jail. Pray for me that I get a job. The pastor prays for him. Whatever little money he has in his pocket, he gives to the guy. The guy comes back 2 weeks later. I got a job and I make this much money. What should I do? He said, well, give God a tithe. So he gave God a tithe. He comes back a month later, joins the church. He says, I got another raise and a promotion. How much you make? He said, I make $500 a week. Give him 50. He gets another raise and a promotion by the end of the year. He's getting $1,000 a week. He said, give God 100. The guy's like, I don't know if I should give God 100. He said, well, quick, let me pray for you. He said, okay, go ahead. He said, Lord, take him back to how he was before he got out of prison. That's the issue. We take God's good and won't even give him a tip. What? We won't even give him a tip. We won't even give him a tip. Now, we ain't got no problem with Christian Louboutin. We ain't got no problem with Gucci. We ain't got no problem with Louis. We ain't got no problem with Tory Burch. Say, man, Brandy, we ain't got no problem with Bulgari. We ain't got no problem with Rolex. We ain't got no problem with Mercedes, BMW, Rivian, Tesla. We got no problem. But come to church and all they want is money. What does BMW want? Money. Our hearts have got to go back to be conditioned after God. I was reading about a guy. Most people confuse it with Hershey, but it wasn't Hershey. It was another guy. I can't remember his name, Bishop. It said he gave 90% of his money away and he lived on 10%.
10%.
And he had more with 10% than people had who kept 100%.
Man, y'all, come on. Come on, y'all. Mm-hmm. Bishop, what do you tell people that's saying, you see this all on threads, the government shut down because there's a particular church in our city that I think they were raising $1 million and they put that on pause to tell people to bring grocery, et cetera, because of the government shutdown, et cetera. And so you have a lot of people saying the church should stop asking for tithe and start helping the community. What do you say to that thought process?
I go back to the Bible, and I'm just going to say it this way. I go back to the covenant every single time. Because for you to tell people to stop tithing is saying that God's system doesn't work, which says God don't know what he's doing. You still bring the tithe. We got resources enough to do the other stuff. You still bring the tithe. Bring God's tithe, bring God's offering, and he has blessed you enough to still help other people, right? Bring all the tithe into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive. And I'll rebuke the devourer for your sake. And your seed will not produce a harvest before its time. And when it does produce, it'll be 100-fold return, right? All of these, I'll rebuke the devourer, the one that eats you up, the one that cancels your benefits. I'll rebuke him. Could it be that the reason why we got all of this problem with government shutdown and loss of benefits is because the Lord says, you didn't give me nothing to rebuke the devourer, so I had to let the devourer is saying, hey man, don't be backing me up. These people ain't been right by you. I know, because I done tricked them. I got them against you and you still pushing me back? No. Did you know only one time in scripture the devil testified? It's in the book of Job.
Job.
The devil testified. He said, God, I did go by Job's house, but you got a hedge around Job.
That's right.
Because Job did the right thing. Not because it was right, but because he was in right relationship with God. Galatians chapter 6. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all men, especially to those who are the household of faith. So we should do that. But we don't neglect God to do it. That'd be like somebody saying, I know you my husband, but because these other men ain't got wives, I'm gonna let them share me. You about to get, we on bandwidth, I better not say. You done lost your mind.
Yeah.
No, we don't neglect our responsibility so that we can do other things. We add the other things so that we can embrace our responsibility. Yeah. And I'm not pushing back. If this is what you felt was good, no problem. But don't push me back when I say it's both, not one or the other. Let me just even be more clear. For anybody that's going to ever push back against Gathering of Champions or EA, what about all the stuff we have been doing that you ain't seen? What about all the baskets, boxes of food? During COVID, when I had to rent a refrigerated truck to keep the perishables in it so I could hand it out to people and didn't take one picture of them. Come on, you trying to label me because you're in a current crisis? I've been dealing with crisis. I've been managing these crises forever. I took the fruit. I took the vegetables, I took the chickens, I took the turkeys to schools and brought people to our church. The government didn't give me no money for that truck. I had to put gas in that truck, I had to rent that truck, I had to insure that truck, and we had to drive that truck. Right? We did all of this. But because we didn't jump on the bandwagon, and we shutting everything down. Don't bring no money to the church. No. It's the small-minded people who don't understand the Bible and who don't understand ministry that jump on those bandwagons. And let me tell you why. Because they didn't want to give in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, the storm is coming. We ought to not tithe and send money down there. No, that ain't the first storm. And it ain't going to be the last.
That's right.
It's tithe and give extra.
Bishop, last question. I know you got to go, sir.
Listen, man, I hope I didn't make your audience.
Nah, it is phenomenal. Bishop, I heard Paul Washer say this, Pastor Paul Washer say that the problem with America, the biggest problem with America is the American pulpit. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with him. And Paul Washer is right. He's like, like no matter how, if you over here and to the right, Paul gonna move over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate his conviction. I will say this. The American pulpit has catered to the American consciousness. It's not challenged it. One we cater, the other we challenge. We should be preaching messages from faithfully exegeted passages that challenge us to be more like God. In turn, what we're getting is be more like yourself, just be happy.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, just be happy. I said to a guy who worked for me one time, I said, bro, you can't live with your girlfriend and work for me.
Wow.
Bishop, I'm just saying, I keep my private life private. I said, you can't. I said, she'll be pregnant. Y'all be forced to get married. A year later, she was pregnant. They're forced to get married. So I said, here's my standard. My standard is no matter how much I need you, if you won't work to hold up the standard that is preached in our pulpit, then you can't work for me. Americans, when people say, you know, American Christians are going to hell, well, that's impossible. If you're saved, you can't go to hell. John chapter 3.
Yeah.
If you believe, you're not condemned. If you believe not, you're condemned already. But there are going to be Christians who are going to stand before God. A little bit different, not on the day of judgment in chapter 20 of Revelation.
Yes,
the day
sir.
of judgment are for those who are still dead.
Yes, sir.
We're already raptured, so it couldn't be us. If you go up a few verses in chapter 20, we have been reigning with Christ.
Yes,
so
sir.
that ain't us.
Yes, sir.
But there will be a time when we stand before God to give an account of our stewardship of this salvation that we've been given. And I think God's going to say, I sent you voices. Why didn't you receive from them? Jesus says this, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who stones the prophets and kill the ones that are sent to you. How often have I wanted to gather you together as a hen does her chicks, but you would not let me. See to it that your houses will be left in ruin. In other words, Jesus said, God has something for you that you didn't want. That's the one. I've got this word for you, but you don't want this word because it doesn't make you comfortable. It doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, but it challenges you. I was preaching John chapter 3, so I'm preaching through the Bible. I'm in John chapter 4. I was preaching John chapter 3 and John chapter 4, and as well as I know them, standing up in our pulpit, I got convicted. I told the church, I said, I'm so convicted, I don't know what to do. Because I don't know how I'm going to finish this sermon. I'm convicted because the Lord said I needed you to study it, but then when you preached it, I needed you to hear it too.
Yeah.
I had to get, my conviction challenged me. My conviction says, that woman in Samaria in John chapter 4, Jesus looks at his disciples and said, don't say it's must before harvest. Look at the Samaritans. They getting saved. They coming this way. They gonna get saved. They are coming to see the Messiah. That's where God wants the American pulpit, that we share such truth. That lady left her water pots, went into town and said, come see a man. We've been so comforted that we don't ever come see a man. We don't ever say it. We don't invite nobody to come see him. We don't lead any groups. I asked my nephew, I said, how's your relationship with Jesus? He said, I don't have one. I said, well, do you believe the Lord's been good to you? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's get saved right now. He said, okay. He said, what do I do next? I said, now we're going to get your cousin saved. We start getting all my nieces and nephews saved by one conversation. Sometimes the real spark is the one that you start. We keep thinking that the Holy Spirit ushers in revival. Maybe more so, hearts that are on fire usher in revival. The men and the women that come here, when they leave here, their heart is so on fire, sitting in a restaurant, they tell the waitress, are you saved? They ask the waitress, you saved? Where you go to church? Come to our church. Sit with me. When you come, turn your flashes on so we can see the first time guests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I want you to come and be a part of that. People who are on fire, they're never invited to any space where they suffocate the Jesus in them. You had a bridal shower. Anybody in here need to get saved. Girl, we don't want to hear that. Anybody need to get saved? Because there might be somebody that needs to get saved. This lady was in QT. I was getting ready to get me an energy drink, get on the road to go to preach. And she said, I'm just tired of this life. I said, you know this life can change right now. She looked at me up and down. I said, you can get saved right here, right now. She said, come on, Dan. I said, repeat after me. I laid hands on her and prayed for her. She put her beer back. She said, yeah, I want something different. This guy standing on the corner, he said, sir, could you give me $5? I said, if you give me 5 minutes. He said, go ahead. I said, what's your relationship like with Jesus? He said, ain't got one. I said, do you know you can have one right now? And I said, and for the rest of your life, you can be saved and secure and go to heaven when you die. He said, I want that. I said, come on. I said, you got a cell phone? He said, I do. I said, call me. I'll come by and pick you up and baptize you. I gave him the $5. He said, thank you. He said, what you did means more than the $5. Mm-hmm. At some point, the fire in us is what creates revival. Somebody needs to strike a match. Come on, man. We got all these people around here, all these people around Marietta. No, we striking a match. Come on. 10 people gonna stand in front of that subdivision down the street and say, we declare in the authority of the name of Jesus that the people in this subdivision, this apartment complex will stay married, they will be saved and Holy Spirit filled, and they'll be discipled in Encounter Atlanta Church. You stood right at the mouth and said it. Right at the mouth of that subdivision. Because angels hear what people don't hear. And they are going to be put on assignment, and you watch what happens. Y'all gonna have to get police out there. Yeah. What's the nearest apartment complex? What's the nearest school? We going over there. Everybody that goes to this school coming to Encounter Atlanta, elementary school, we got to have a whole new youth department, kids department. We got to get 5 full-time staff people because 100% of this school is coming to Encounter Atlanta. Yeah, that's fire. And we see them come in. You know I'm not an Ohio State fan because I'm from Michigan, so you already know. I do not like Ohio State, but I watched them last season. All them conversions, all them baptisms that came from football players.
That's right.
I became an Ohio State fan.
Yes, sir.
I ain't telling nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially not Jonathan Alvarado.
Yeah.
But I'm like, somebody on the team sparked, and there are people getting baptized. There are people getting saved. There are Bible study groups popping off. I said to 2 young ladies in our church Sunday, I said between now and next year, I need 50 students from Kennesaw that go to this church. They say, okay. I said, great. We got a plan. I'm gonna stand in the middle of campus and pray out loud. God save every single one of them and disciple them and gather in the champions. And if not us, somewhere. But don't let them go. I'm standing in front of campus. I'm gonna do that at Morehouse. I'm gonna do that at Spelman. I'm gonna do that at Clark. I'm gonna do it at Morris Brown. I'm doing it everywhere. Why? Because at some point, me standing in the pulpit with a fire and me standing in the marketplace with a fire has got to be the same.
Bishop. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bishop Brian Keith. That's crazy. Bishop, thank you.
Man, I'm so honored, man.
Bishop, if we want to get in contact with you, can you give us how we can, your platforms, how we can get in contact with you?
So on Facebook, I'm Bishop Hodges. On Instagram, I'm Dr. Brian Keith Hodges, and Leaders Under 40, Dr. BKH. Yeah, and just reach out. Of course, on Facebook, our group is Rehoboth Fellowship International.
Yes, sir.
Join me there. You'll start seeing way more content there. And then you'll see Inspire Global on Facebook. You'll see way more content there. And then somebody who's a part of this church is working on other stuff for me to brand me and to take care of.
Yeah.
Because she believes that God is doing something as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at, man.
Bishop, thank you for coming, sir.
I love you.
Love you too, sir.
So much.
All right, y'all. See y'all in a minute.